Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss Degree 5th SEM Regular Examination 2022 English Model Paper prescribed by Osmania University. And the paper has two sections, Section A and Section B. And the time allocated is 3 hours. So under the Section A you have to answer any of the 5 given 8 questions and they carry 20 marks. And in Section B you have to answer any 5 out of 10 questions which will be given. Each one carry 12 marks and the total is 60. So students, since you have only 3 units for the 5th semester, so the first section A will be only from the 3 units, that is objective type of questions, that is vocabulary and grammar from the 3 units. Unit 1 you will be having Indianism, framing questions and framing tag questions. And in unit 2 you having analogy and odd word out. And in grammar you will be having verbs. And in unit 3 you are having technical vocabulary, that is from film and literature, and conditional, which is in grammar. And here in section B, in the first unit you are having poem ecology, prose what's the language of the future, and under second unit you are having poem girl, and prose gender equality is your issue 2. And in the third unit only you are having one topic, that is review writing, film review or book review. So from this section B you will be getting 10 questions. Out of that 10 questions you have to answer any 5. Each one carry 12 marks, so you will get 60 marks. So students, here under this section A you will be having grammar and vocabulary questions, and in this you have to answer any 5. There are 8 questions will be there. Out of that 8 questions you have to answer any 5. Each question carries 4 marks. So if you do 5 questions you will get 20 marks. So question number 1, answer as directed. Here A, B, C till D you will be having 4 questions. Each one carry 1 mark, so you will get 4 marks for each question. Now let us see the first one. Pass out in global English means what? So pass out, it is an Indianism word. So this is from the unit 1 under the section of vocabulary. Indianism are nothing but these are the words, phrases, expression or sentences that are widely used in Indian English, but they are not common in other English speaking countries. So this is Indianism word which we use in India. So in global English what we call to this pass out? We called graduated. So pass out in global English means graduate. Now the second one, cribbing in global English means what? Cribbing is nothing but complaining something. So in the Indianism word we say cribbing, in global English it is called complaining. So now the C1 question C is, you have to add a question tag here. The question is, you paint well. So what will be the question mark here? Question tag. So here students, you have to remember one thing when you are adding a question tag to the sentence. So you have to remember this thing, that if the statement is in the affirmative means positive, this sentence is positive. So if the statement is affirmative, the tag is negative. So what you have to add here? Don't you. So when the sentence is affirmative means positive, you have to add negative question mark, and when the sentence is in negative sense you have to add positive question tag. So now let us see D1. He did not go to college. Here also you have to add a question tag which is from unit 1 grammar part. So here students, as I told you, if the sentence is in positive form you have to add negative question tag, and when the sentence is in negative sense you have to add positive question tag. Now you can see here, he did not go to college, which is in negative form because not is used here. So you have to add positive question tag here. So did he. Did he. So your correct question tag is, he did not go to college. The answer is did he. So now let's move to the second question. Here, make the following sentences more acceptable. So students, this one also from unit 1 under the section of vocabulary. Here for first question, I order for a coffee. You have to make this sentence more acceptable. So we cannot add article to coffee because coffee is uncountable noun. So we cannot add article to it. We can make it countable by adding a countable noun before this coffee. So how we can write it? We can write like this: I ordered for a cup of coffee. We can add a cup here. I ordered for a cup of coffee. Now this sentence become acceptable. Now the second one is I am having a headache. So here students, this sentence is wrong because having means owning something. We cannot own headache, right? So we have to write I have headache, not a also. A headache also we cannot say. I have headache. Now the C1 is, here also you have to make the sentence more acceptable. What is your good name, please? So here you should not ask your good name because good name means some person have bad name also. So we have to avoid this good name. Only what is your name or may I know your name, please? Okay. Now next one, D. Let me suggest you something. So here also let me suggest you. This much is enough. Let me suggest you. So avoid something here. No need to write this avoid. Only let me suggest you. Now the third question, which is frame the question to elicit the following response. So here students, the examiner will give you a sentence, the affirmative sentence. You have to make a question here. You have to frame a question here. So the first one is he is my friend. So how you will make it as a question? Who is he? So the answer is he is my friend. Now the second one is I joined last year. So if you want to make question to take this answer, what you will ask? You will ask when did you join? So the answer will be I joined last year. The next one is I play quite well. So you have to make a question for this. How well do you play? So you have to frame a question for this answer. How well do you play? Now the next one is I have been playing for the last 3 years. So you have to make here also question. So the question will be how long have you been playing? I have been playing for the last 3 years. So you have to make question how long have you been playing? Now let's see the fourth question. So here you will be having fill the blanks with one of the option provided. Here students, options are there. You have to choose the correct option. This is from unit 2 under the vocabulary section. So the first question is, this is analogy. Pencil is to write as knife is to what? You have to see the function of this. Pencil's function is to write. So what is the function of knife? Erase, cut, clean or cook. So the knife function is to cut. So the correct option is cut. Now let us see the B1. Up is to down as left is to what? Here you have to give the opposite. Antonym they are asking here. Up, opposite of up is down. So what is the opposite of left? Center, right, arrived or after. So the opposite of left is right. Now let us see the C question. Choose the correct sentence that makes sense as per the analogy. You have to choose the correct sentence here. Out of these three, salmon is a kind of fish, rice is a type of dessert, parrot is a type of insect. So here you can go with salmon is a kind of fish because rice is not a type of dessert and parrot is a bird, is not an insect. So the correct answer is first, salmon is a kind of fish. Now the D1 is you have to choose the odd word out. You have to choose the odd word from these four. The first one is high, sky, fly and the bird. So the odd one will be bird because this is the rhyming sim high, sky, fly. Here you can find rhyme, but in the bird this is the odd one. So you have to odd it out. So students, this is the second unit. Under the vocabulary section you have these analogy questions. Now let us see fifth question, which is from verb, unit 2, under the section of grammar. So here the first A1 is they dig or dug a well in the backyard. So you have to choose from these two options, either dig or dug. So students, the sentence in simple past form, so you have to use here dug, which is V2, not dig. If the sentence is in present tense, you can use dig, but here the sentence is in the past form, so you have to take V2, they dug. Now second one B, the man dash become or became very angry. Here again we have to take V2, became, the man became very angry. Now the C1 is they dash have lunch at a restaurant. Now here we have to use this B2, they had lunch at the restaurant. Now for the D1, have you dash done or did, V2 or V3? This is V3, done is V3 and did is V2. So students, remember one thing, if have come in the sentence, you have to write V3 because have always come along with V3, have plus V3. So have you done your duty? The correct answer is have you done your duty. You have to use done here. Now let us see the sixth question, answer as directed. So the A1 is the bomb exploded. So here identify whether the underlined verb is transitive or intransitive. So the given verb, underlined verb is this one, exploded. So you have to identify this exploded verb is having a transitive verb or it is a intransitive verb. So students, what is transitive and intransitive verb? Transitive verb is nothing but which needs object to complete its sentence. An intransitive verb which doesn't require object to complete its sentence. So here the bomb exploded. So we need object here. So this is called intransitive sentence because it doesn't have object. This is one intransitive sentence. And to identify intransitive sentence, we can also do that. We have to check it whether we can change it into active to passive voice or not. If the sentence can be changed to active to passive voice, then we can say it is a transitive sentence. But here we cannot change this because object is not here. So we cannot change this sentence to active to passive. So that's why it is intransitive verb. Now let us see the second one, B. I wrote a letter. Now again here you have to see whether we can change this one active voice to passive voice or not. Easily we can because this one is subject, I is a subject, this one is a verb, and letter which is object. So we can change this. A letter was written by me. So easily we can change this to passive voice. So it can be a transitive verb. So this is the transitive verb. Now the next one is C. Write the past and past participle of this irregular verb drink. So first of all students, what is irregular and regular verbs? Regular verbs are nothing but the verbs which we can add, which have the ending of D or ED. So that is called regular verbs, and when the word changes its spelling, that is irregular verb. So this is the drink, this is V1, we have to write V2 and V3. V2 and V3 we have to write. So the first one is drink. So the V2 of drink is drank, D-R-A-N-K, drank, and the V3 is drunk, D-R-U-N-K, drunk. So this is past, which is V2, and past participle means V3. Drink, drank, drunk. Now here D1, last week I lent you or I lent you 200 rupees. Choose the correct alternative. Here you have to choose the correct one. I lent to you or I lent you. So the correct answer is this one. Last week I lent you 200 rupees. This again too we no need to use this one because after verb directly we can use object. No need of preposition. Now let us see the seventh question. So this seventh question is from the third unit, which is film and technical vocabulary. technical vocabulary, which is film and literature. Now let us see the first question. A film set in the past in which the actors are dressed like people from the past. What we call that? Costume drama or western? We call it costume drama. Now the B1 is the first showing of a film or serial, anything. What we call to that? The first showing. Screenplay or premiere? We call it as premiere. Now let us see C1. A work that imitates or make fun of or comments on an original work. What we call to this work? Who imitate the original work? Irony or parody? We say parody. If someone imitates someone else's work and produce as his, we call it parody. Means the copy of original work. Now the D1 is if you had informed in advance dash what. So here complete the sentence by adding suitable conditional sentence. So here you have to use a conditional. If you had informed in advance. So students, this sentence is in the past form, which is from third conditional. The third conditional sentences means which refers to the past and describe things that did not happen. So this is imaginary past condition and its probable past result. So here you have to use the answer. If you had informed me in advance, I would have kept the lunch ready. This will be your answer. So now student, let us see the 8th question. Here you will be having BSAQs. You have to write very short answer questions. This is from unit 1 to 3. So but here I have given only unit 1 and 2. So the first question is how often do the red champak trees burst into flowers? So this is from unit 1 Ecology, the poem Ecology, which is written by A.K. Ramanujan. This poem is about a son's devotion to his mother and her devotion to ecology. So that creates a kind of conflict between the two. Because the poet mothers get severe migraine pain because of the red champak tree's pollen. So the poet wanted, the A.K. Ramanujan or some imaginary person wanted to cut the tree, but his mother stopped him from doing so because of religion and emotional sentiment for the tree. So here the question is asking, how often do the red champak trees burst into flower? So the answer is, the red champak trees burst into flowers once in a rainy season. In every rainy season, this red champak trees burst into flowers. Now the second question is, what is the status of English language in the 21st century? So students, this question is taken from the unit 1, What's the Language of Future, written by Henry Hitching. Here he shows how the British colonialism pushed the language of English on non-native speakers. But today the same language has been pulled into various varieties of English. So here for answer of this question, what is the status of English language in the 21st century? So in the 21st century, the world and the language of English is becoming more urban and reaching the middle class by becoming the lingua franca of business and popular culture. This will be your answer. Now the third question is, how does the girl respond to the instruction? This question is from unit 2, the poem Girl, written by Jamaica Kincaid. Here in this poem, the girl's mother wants her daughter to become a perfect woman in the eyes of the society. But the girl only speaks 2 times in the prose poem. Once to defend herself for not singing a popular song at school, another time when she says that the baker won't allow her to touch the bread and squeeze it. So in a way we can occur the meaning that she never responds and probably feel dominated. She feels dominated. So we can say what is her response? Her response is probably feels dominated. She never responds to her mother. So the D1 is, what according to Emma Watson is feminism? This question is from unit 2, Gender Equality is Your Issue Too, by Emma Watson, which is a speech given by Emma Watson. So according to her, Emma Watson, feminism is nothing but that is the belief that men and women should have equal rights and opportunities. It is the theory of the political, economic and social equality of the sexes. So students, this is all about 8 question. Out of these 8 question you have to answer any 5. You will get 20 marks. Now students, let's move to the section B, which having 60 marks. Here you have to answer any 5 about 200 to 300 words. So this question number 9 and question number 10 will, so these two questions from unit 1, question number 1 and question number 2, and question number 11 and question number 2 from unit 2, and this question number 13 and question number 14 will be from unit 3, and the question number 15 to 18 will be from unit 1 to 3. Anyone from unit 1 to 3 you can get. From these 3 units you will get from 15 to 18. Now let us see the first question, ninth one. Attempt a character sketch of the mother portrayed in the poem Ecology. So as you all know, you might have learned in your syllabus Ecology, which is written by A.K. Ramanujan. So here you have to write the summary. How you have to write this long answer? First part you have to give the intro. You have to give the intro of the poet, which is A.K. Ramanujan. Then second you have to write intro of the poem. Then third you have to write the whole summary of the poem. Then at last fourth you have to write the conclusion. So you have to write in this way this long answer, so easily you can score 12 marks. First you have to give the introduction to the poet, or if prose is there you have to give the introduction to the author. Then second point, introduction to the poem, or if prose is there you have to give introduction to the prose. In third point you have to write whole summary of the poem and prose, which is in 2 pages or more than 2 also you can write. And this intro, at least 4 sentences you have to write. If you can write more you can. And at the last, after summary you have to give the conclusion. This also 4 or 5 sentences you can write, or if you want to write more than 4 or 5 sentences you can write. Now let us see the next 10th one. How does the author shows that the English language is both push and pull? So this question is from unit 1, What the Language of Future, written by Henry Hitching. Here he shows the importance of English language, how the English language is pushed by British colonialism, and nowadays everyone is pulling toward the English language. So here also you have to use the same format. First you have to give the introduction to Henry Hitching, then introduction to the prose, what's the language of future, then whole summary you have to write how the English language has pushed by British colonialism, then what is the present state and what will be the future status of the English language. At last you have to give the conclusion. Now in the 11th question, attempt the character sketch of the mother in the poem Girl. So here the prose poem, which is written by Jamaica Kincaid. Here in this poem, a mother, dominating character, instruct or give certain instructions to her daughter to mold her character. So here also you have to do the same thing. First intro of the Jamaica Kincaid, then introduction of the prose poem Girl, then summary, then at last you have to write the conclusion. Now the 12th question, what is the main argument of Emma Watson's speech and how she supported? So here this is Emma Watson's speech, that is lesson name is, which is from unit 2, Gender Equality, which is your issue 2, the lesson name. So here first you have to give the intro of the Emma Watson, then introduction to this essay which is given by Emma Watson, then whole summary. At last you have to give your conclusion. Now for 13th question, here you have to explain the structure of a film review and write a review of a film that you enjoy watching. So here you have to first write the structure of the film review. Answer you have to write it. What are the steps to write the structure of the film review? So here in the structure of film review, there are the 5 points. First you have to write the title, headline, then subheading, then you have to give the introduction, then analysis, then conclusion. And after that you have to write a review on the film which you have enjoyed watching. Now the 14th question, write the structure and process of a book review. So here also you have to use 5 points for the structure. First you have to write the headline, opening statement, discussion, then assessment. After assessment you have to write the conclusion in the book review structure. And the process of writing a book review also you can write from your textbook. You have to write this answer. Now in the 15th question, 15 to 18th question you will get from unit 1 to 3. They can ask any question from unit 1 to unit 3. This 4 question you will get from those. So here 15th question, compare and contrast the attitude of the speaker and the mother toward the champak trees. This question is again from unit 1 ecology, written by A.K. Ramanujan. Now 16th question, what are the objectives of the he for she campaign and how does Emma Watson seek to achieve them? This question is from unit 2. What gender equality is your issue 2. Now let us see the 17th question. Here you have to describe the process of writing a film review. Before we have seen, you have to write the structure of the film review, and write a film review to attempt you have enjoyed. And here they have asked the structure of and process of the book review. But here in the 17th question, you have to write the process of writing a film review. Now here 18th question, describe the mother and daughter's relationship in the prose poem Girl. This is again from the unit 2. This question is from unit 2 and this question is from unit 3. Here you have to write the relationship between mother and daughter. You have to use the same format. First you have to give the intro. Then you have to write the intro of the poet. First you have to give the intro of the poet or author. Then you have to write the intro of the poem or prose, whatever is there. Then third one you have to write the summary. Then fourth you have to give the conclusion. So students, you have to follow these steps for writing these long answers. Intro of the author, intro of the poem or prose. So whole summary you have to write, and at the last you have to give the conclusion. So these are the model question paper, students. You can prepare for your examination. Do well in your exam and all the best for your exams. Stay tuned for more videos.